What's up guys, Isaac Walton here for Hunting the River King, taking a look at Broadlink's RM Mini 3 Smart Controller. This is a little bit hard to explain. The closest thing to describe what it's like is sort of like an Amazon Echo device. Basically a smart home device that you can use to control your air conditioning, your sort of climate control settings, your TV, clocks, lights, other things that can actually sync with. Now Broadlink is a company that's more well known in China. It's not well known here, and because of that this review is pretty limited because a lot of the features this has doesn't really work in the US. However, I'll go over a few of them in case you have a device that is compatible. In short, what this thing does is it will allow you to use voice commands in Chinese or pre-programmed commands on a smartphone to control your TV, maybe to change some of the lights and change the air conditioning. It can detect when the temperature drops to a certain level, or if the temperature is saying, hey, the humidity is a certain level, we'll change it to this. Automatically adjust some of the settings for you. Also turn the TV at certain times, turn it off at certain times, record certain things, even set different alarms for you as well. The voice command features in the little instruction manual it came with say it only works in Chinese. So unless you know some Mandarin, good luck, it's not going to work for you. This is what it looks like. It's about the size of, fits in the palm of your hand pretty easily. It comes with some warning labels up here, and down here on the front there's a little LED. If it's flashing blue, it's ready to sync. If it's white, it's actually synced up. Then on the back right here, we have the power and the reset button. To get this thing started, simply plug in with a USB, make sure it's active, and if you need to, hold it down for a few seconds to reset it, and then it will go ahead and sync. Broadlink's done a good job with the packaging here, just very simple, straightforward. And the instruction manual, surprisingly, is actually very easy to read, even though it's in English and it's coming from a Chinese company. It shows off some of the features here, as I mentioned, some of the TV features, works with the smartphone, and the smartphone apps I'm going to show you next, where the real meat of this RM Mini 3 comes into play. Alright, let's take a look at that. RM Mini 3 app, the one that basically the control center behind this little smart wireless controller. I've got it plugged in right now. It's actually synced up. Here's a quick demo right here showing off the e-control to show you temperature. You can adjust the temperature, adjust the fan, power it on or off, even show you what's going on. But let's go what's actually going on here, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm in the US. This is a Chinese device. It has some features that are probably compatible with different air conditioning units, climate control units, and televisions, LCDs that we have in the US, but certainly not the ones I have, and I don't think they're very common here as well. Something else to keep in mind. So we'll look at the devices I have right now. Here's the app right now. You have different settings you can set it to, and I'll just pull up the device I have. Here's my device list. I have the e-remote. The e-remote is this right here, and it's already synced up. You do have to give it the wireless information. I'm going to go back, and one of the things, well, you can actually, let's hit this plus sign. So you can add a remote, tap that. Oh, that's the edit scene. Add a remote, and it'll let you, here's all the options it has. These are the things this could potentially sync with, provided you have a compatible device. Air conditioning, to set top box, not sure what that is, but it looks like a radio here. Audio, TV, gesture control, user defined air conditioning, or air con, and RCS, I think smart lighting options as well. Let's go back. All the different sockets it shows here that you can sync it up with. What this basically does is, so for my TV, I was able to partially get it set up, but not completely successfully. If I tap on my TV remote here, this is basically turning your cell phone into a remote, no longer requiring this, but to first set it up, you have to sync it with this device. And you actually program each button. So let's say I want to program, let's go to the switch button. Oh, that one I've already programmed. Let's try one I haven't programmed yet. Let's say I want to program number 1 to make sure it syncs up. So it says operate the remote, so I'm going to actually grab my remote, which is working, and I've synced it up by just pressing 1. Press 2, so this will detect, this is actually detecting on my remote what I'm pressing, and it's working that way. Unfortunately, even though I have synced up the power key, it vibrates, and you'll even see right here it flashes. It does not turn on my TV. And once I'm actually using my TV, these buttons, playing with them, turning the volume up or down, does nothing on my TV. So for some reason, on my screen, this does not work all the time. We're going to go back right here. It wants to update. I'll cancel. And you know, I think it just has to do with device compatibility. This potentially has a lot of powerful features provided you trust it. With your wireless information, you can sync it up with a smart home stuff. But if you don't have stuff that's compatible with, it's not going to be very useful. All right, guys, this is a Broadlink RM Mini 3 unique little wireless controller. If you're going to get it, it's pretty cheap. I think it's less than $20. Has a lot of neat features, but it's primarily something aimed at the Chinese market, not so much for the US. Just to look at what stuff it's actually compatible with before jumping into it. This is Hunting the River King, Isaac Walton here. Later.